So there's been some questions going around, some comments, and it seems like there's a lot of people that believe that if you have Facebook or if you have Instagram, then you don't need a website, or vice versa. And I just want to set the record straight and bring some clarity to this topic. So first of all, what are we even talking about? We're talking about getting customers online. That's what it's all about. When people are talking about having a Facebook page and an Instagram page or a website, 99.9% of the time, their intention is that they're going to get more customers from it. If that wasn't the case, then they wouldn't even be talking about it. And I think it's important whenever you're approaching a topic like this to take this topic down to its roots, like I just did. The point of a website or the point of having a Facebook page or the point of running ads on Facebook or on Google is to get customers. And so there's 3 things that you need online when it comes to getting customers. Only 3 things. 1, you need to be found. If people can't find you, if people don't know that you exist, then there's 0 chance that they're ever going to be able to hire you. So knowing that you exist and understanding what you do or what you can do for them, critical. Number 2 is you have to look professional. If you don't come off as professional, you could be seen by millions of people, but no one's ever going to call you and become your customer because you just don't look professional or trustworthy. So once you're found, you need to look professional. And then number 3 is you got to be reachable. You could be found and you can look professional, but if people don't know how to get a hold of you, or you have like a contact form but it's broken, or maybe it's just not clear how they're supposed to get a hold of you, people are going to drop off. They're not going to contact you because it's too difficult. So being found, looking professional, and being easily reachable, those are the 3 things you need. And so let's talk about how these things transpire on these different platforms. And a website, typically we're talking about Google. 90+% of people are using Google to find what they're looking for online. So that's basically where you want your website to be found. If your website's not found on Google, then chances are nobody's going to find it, and you're already not accomplishing the most important thing, which is being found. So when it comes to Google, let's talk about how that's different than Facebook. And again, we have to boil this stuff down to its roots. What are people doing on Google? They're looking for something. Somebody needs a bathroom remodeled. They go to Google, they type in bathroom remodeler in my city or near me. They have an intention and they went to Google with the intention of solving a problem or getting something. That differs from Facebook. People don't go to Facebook to find what they're looking for typically. People on Facebook are just browsing through the feed, scrolling, looking for something that catches their attention, and holds their attention long enough to look at whatever it is. And so when you're talking about marketing on these platforms, it's completely different. On Google, somebody's going to type something into Google that they need. They're going to find your company either through Google Maps or your website. They're going to go to your website, try to find out if you're professional or not, trustworthy or not, look for a way to contact you, and then reach out about getting that specific thing they were looking for. On Facebook, someone's just scrolling, they see your company pop up, they see the service that you do, and they think, oh, I actually do need that. There actually is a tree in my backyard I've been wanting to remove. Or we actually have been talking to and getting quotes about getting our windows replaced in our house. Now's a perfect time to see this offer come by. And so it's just a completely different ballgame. And whether or not you need the other, if you have one thing, if you have Facebook, you don't need a website. If you have a website, you don't need Facebook. That just depends on, do you need more customers? And are you getting those customers already? If you have a Facebook page and it's bringing you 5 new customers every week and that's all you want, sure, you can make the argument you don't need a website. And then vice versa, if you have a website and it's bringing you 5 customers a week and that's all that you want, then you can make the argument that you don't need Facebook. I would say that most of you watching this right now probably need more customers. So whatever you're doing, you should probably just add in the other things. You should have a website. You should be found on Google. You should have a Facebook page, Instagram too, if you like Instagram, and be posting on these things regularly. Just having a Facebook page isn't going to do anything for you. You have to be posting on it all the time, a few times a week at least. I have tons of clients across the country who are contractors, and we're always helping them in their marketing capacity. And the ones I see that are successful on Facebook and Instagram are the ones that are posting all the time, because their posts pop up in their feeds. They have friends, Facebook friends, that are actually potential customers, and they get work through that. I have other clients who have every kind of page you can have, but they never post on any of it, and it doesn't do anything for them. So, I mean, that's the real point. Any of these things can work for you. It's just a matter of following through and doing them and executing on them regularly. Marketing is not something you just set and forget. It's not a George Foreman grill. It's a process that you have to be continuously going through and adjusting for what works and what doesn't work, and what your specific needs are in your company. How many more customers do you need? You have a month slot to fill in 2 months. Maybe you should be running some extra advertising right now to try to fill in that spot. But if you're fully booked for the next 2 years, maybe you don't need to be investing in advertising. So anyways, to put this to rest, there is no if this, then you don't have to do the other thing, unless you don't need any more customers. If you do need more customers, I recommend doing all of these things, but only do the things you're going to follow through with. Don't spend a bunch of time setting up an Instagram account and posting a few times if you're never going to look at it and post again. That's just a waste of time. And same with Facebook. Just getting on Facebook one time isn't going to probably do anything for you. And so these things need to be followed up upon. At my company, we always focus on Google first, for the reasons that, for the way that Google works. People are looking for something specific. They go to Google, they type it in, they find our clients on the top of the page, and then they go check them out. They look professional, they reach out to them, they have a chance of becoming a customer. That's how that works. We have been branching out more into Facebook lately, and doing, in particular, Facebook ads. And I'm not going to get too deep into that, but the basis on Facebook is people are scrolling, they're not really paying attention, they're not really looking for anything specific. So you have to have an offer that is almost too good to refuse. You can't just say, hey, we paint houses, because nobody's going to even pay attention to that. They're just going to scroll right by it. You might get someone once in a while inquiring, but it will be very rare and it will be really expensive. An example of a good offer is something like, hey, locally made windows installed for half the price of everyone else, or something like that, or just installed for half the price. That's anybody who's been thinking about getting windows and they see an offer for getting quality windows for half the price, they're going to be intrigued by that. They're going to click on that. It's enough to capture their attention. So Facebook and Google are very different. Google is much simpler to understand because people are looking for something specific. If you can be that something and then make sure that they find you, they're going to call you. Like it's super basic stuff. And if you don't already have Google working for you, if you're not already getting customers through your website, I would say that that should be a main priority for you. So just to wrap everything up, Facebook, Instagram, Google, websites, they all work in their own capacity. And the most important thing is being able to follow through and execute properly on these things. If you're in need of new customers, you should be trying multiple avenues to get these. But just understand that each avenue takes a completely different approach. And you need to think through this stuff from your customer's perspective so that you can understand how to present your company to them, present yourself to them. And lastly, we always start with Google first because Google is where people are actually specifically looking for what you sell. So if someone types in your service in your city on Google and they don't find you, that should probably be your main priority. If you have questions or comments, put them in the comment section. Like this video, and if you want to see more of these, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.